As I may have mentioned on this podcast before, I have long been a fan of role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons. Since I was a little kid, I've been playing it. And one of the reasons I love the game is the whole point is there's no winners and losers. The point of the game is to have fun. That's it, really. That's what you're trying to do, have fun. And it's narrative, which I like, and it's social and cooperative, what I like, which I also like. But really, the point is to have fun. And there's two things that have occurred to me I've learned from this game that I think is applicable everywhere in life, really, particularly creativity. Because, there's all different ways to have fun. Some people just like to solve puzzles in the game. Some like to explore dark caves and kill monsters and take treasures. Others like to have their characters just sit around and talk in taverns. There's all different ways to have fun. But there's two things that all games need, regardless of what they're like. And the first is something that they call in role-playing games player agency, meaning the story. Like I said, role-playing games have a story, but sometimes the game master, the one in charge of the game, the one who is dreaming up the story, gets a little tight. And the players feel like nothing they do matters, that the story, they are being railroaded along from one encounter to another, and nothing that they do or say will really change the direction of the story. No player agency, no fun. If the choices you make aren't a part of the story, if they don't affect the story in some way, affect the game, then where's the fun in making those choices? Because as a player, making choices, rolling dice, this is how you affect the game, affect the story. Well, this is certainly true in life. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest challenges to living creatively, to being creative, is the thought sometimes that your choices don't matter. You know, you don't change anything. You make your little choices. They're just like little a pea shooter in the wind. Everything, you're just a part of some giant game, some giant engine already happening. And your choices, what do they affect? What do they ever affect, really? Nothing I do or say matters. These are the kind of thoughts that can plague us and can make, well, creativity impossible because when you sit down to write, page is blank, baby. Page is blank. And every one of the words that shows up on that page, it is your choice. You chose it. You chose every single word from beginning to end. When you write that story, it teaches you your choices matter. And if they matter on the page, they matter everywhere. The moment you think your choices don't matter is the moment you have no power. And writing is a great way to remind us that all our choices matter if we pay attention to them and if we care about them. So that's the first thing. Player agency, your choices got to matter. You're not going to have any fun. Second thing, surprise. Surprise. I don't want to know what's going to happen. When I design adventures, I'm what's called the game master, the dungeon master. I'm the one usually who dreams up the adventures. Then my players go through. So I design these castles and caves and crypts, and they go through. And the fun part for me is I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. And when we roll dice, we don't know what the dice are going to come up. Is it going to be a 1? Is it going to be a 20? We don't know. The surprise, not knowing is part of the fun too. Discovering is part of the fun. If we know what's going to happen, if I as a player or as a game master start feeling like I know what's going to happen, all the fun kind of drains out. As I've mentioned recently, this is so important in creativity in life. The surprise, the discovery, the not knowing. It's where the fun is. As soon as you know, as soon as you know, I don't know, there's not much interest anymore. The excitement, the delight when you're writing, that moment when you discover what your story's about, discover who your character is, discover how the poem comes together. Paul McCartney talking about he loves to write songs. He likes to find out what they are. He doesn't know until he discovers. Your choices matter and you want to be surprised. Your choices matter and you want to be surprised. That's where the fun is. That's where the interest in life is. It's true in Dungeons and Dragons. It's true in writing. It's true in life. It is. Yes, it is. So every choice you make matters, but be willing to be surprised because that is where the magic is. Yes, it is. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I love to share these with you and hit subscribe if you haven't already. It helps. It helps. Yes, it does. I don't know why, but it does. And if you like it, say so. say so. I love to hear from you. So until next week, this is Bill Kenower. Stay fearless.